Alright, over here at the right hand side of Dual Sight is our red Zerg player. He was in the GSL a long time ago and just popped back up last season qualifying for the October season, and now he's trying to make his way back, or make his way up into Code S. It is MVP Monster. The lava coming out of the bottom of his hatchery there. And here on the green side of Dual Sight, enjoying the flowers and the sheep and the other fun things on this side of the map, is our player from OGS. He's down one game. It is OGS jookTo. jookTo definitely has his work cut out for him. Here in game number 2, both players just droning up. Pretty standard stuff here. We're going to find out pretty soon what these guys are going to do. No crazy rushes or anything like that. This is a 2-player map, so if you were going to rush, you would know exactly where your opponent is. And because it is a 2-player map and your Overlord can get there before too long, sometimes we do see players go for, you know, a quick thing, because if you can get your Zerglings, if you can do like a 6-pool, you get your Zerglings out before they can scout you with their Overlord. They're not likely to drone scout you, basically. Anyway, but both players just playing it safe. Monster going for, looks like 14 pool, and then, I'm sorry, 14 extractor and then pool, and actually pool off 13. He didn't even make an extra drone in there, so he's playing with a pretty quick pool here, whereas jookTo has actually gone for a hatchery first, and he's going up to 16 drones. Uh-oh, this could be bad. If he makes an extractor first, well, he does not going to. He's saving up for the pool now. But this is, yeah, this could be dangerous for jookTo, actually. He's just starting his pool, and Monster is almost finished with his pool. And there's the danger of this kind of a situation. The Overlord cannot get there. It has not gotten there to scout yet. Of course, he has targeted it towards this location so you can see units coming out and see if there's an expansion there, because if there's no expansion, that gives away that there's a pool, basically. So he can just scout that expansion and keep his Overlord a little bit safe as well. Queen is on the way, as well as 4 Zerglings and Zergling speed. Nice little build here by Monster. He's going to get out a lot of stuff very quickly. jookTo is actually, he doesn't even have larva pooled up for when this spawning pool pops. He might be in trouble here, man. He is going to finish his expansion here. This is a really good econ build. This is like a Zerg versus Protoss or Terran build. You want to get a really good econ early on, and there he is mining gas as well, getting 2 queens out. This is going to be tough. He puts down a spine crawler immediately, but the Zerglings are already en route. He may be forced to cancel that spine crawler. He should probably be building one in his main as well, and there's a couple Zerglings popping up for jookTo. He does get a few Zerglings out, actually. Is he going to be able to fend this off? And he is, just because of superior production, and it's barely going to be in time. The spine crawler is going to help out a lot. If not for the spine crawler, Monster could theoretically overrun him. Speed is about to finish for Monster, though. Is he going to try and run by when Speed finishes? More Zerglings coming in. Speed is finished, and now he has the advantage. He can try and run by here. He does get by. He's going straight for that queen, trying to target it down. He does get the queen, loses a few Zerglings in the process, but that is going to slow down jookTo's production. Doesn't quite get a drone with those last couple Zerglings. And more Zerglings are coming in here. He's going to try and do some harassment. He cannot harass this queen because of this spine crawler here. He would lose the Zerglings too quickly. But yeah, jookTo actually is in pretty good shape, because yeah, he's going to miss an inject up here in the main, but he actually doesn't have the income right now to make full use of double spawn larvas anyway. So it's going to be fine for him. And yeah, in the meantime, Monster, though, realizing he wasn't really going to catch up, or wasn't going to kill him, has expanded on his own off of this, getting that Baneling Nest as well, so he can try and make use of this extra tech. jookTo very intelligently got that Baneling Nest earlier, because when you fast expand as a Zerg, you pretty much have to get a Baneling Nest, otherwise they're just going to overrun you with Zerglings. Always trying to pick off the Banelings with single Zerglings. Good idea by Monster. I like the use of this single Baneling at the top of the ramp, so if he tries to run by, there will be a surprise party in store for him, and the pinata will be filled with death instead of candy when that goes off. So Baneling's morphing for Monster as well. Again, you kind of got to get a few Banelings defensively if you're in ZVZ. If you think your opponent might be getting a ton of Zerglings. Whoa, there we go. That was a close one. Almost got some banelings. Or almost got some... The banelings almost got some zerglings. It's a fine line between if the banelings get the zerglings or if the zerglings get the banelings. And that was 1 bane for 5 zerglings. That is a really good trade. Both players getting down the roach warrens as well now, by the way. Switching into that roach tech. And, you know, when neither player can really... When the other player has banelings, you would really, really have to go all in to kill them with just zergling and baneling tech. So I'm not surprised to see them going for the roach tech to kind of go up in tech and make it a longer game. Spreading out the overlords here. I love the coverage by Monster. Look at this. He doesn't actually, you can't actually hold the towers with an overlord, but you can see if your opponent has a zergling there, and he still just has vision still all over the map. I mean, if you look at his map vision, he's got the whole center of the map covered for the most part by overlords and what have you. At least the main routes that the enemy would take to travel to his base if he wanted to sneak by zerglings. And of course he has zerglings here. He's got the overlord here, so you can see everything that jookTo is doing. Except he does not know that there's a lair started in the main right now, so that's going to be interesting. And, ooh, he's going to get an overlord over here, trying to pick that one off. Both players just macroing up here. Very, very even game. Monster is going to be both behind and ahead in tech. He's starting the +1 attack upgrade for his roaches a little bit quicker. So he's going to have a brief window where he's going to have +1, and his opponent will not have any upgrades. But jookTo has the lair first, and he's got 2 Evo chambers, so he's going to have 1/1 first. And so if he doesn't make use of that brief window, then jookTo is going to have +1/+1 speed upgraded roaches, and that is going to be so good for jookTo. Yeah, there's the speed tech, the glial reconstitution going down for jookTo. So Monster is in a little bit of trouble here, actually. I find that, you know, he doesn't know what the timing of jookTo's upgrades are. So he doesn't know that he's going to have about, you know, 15-20 seconds where he has +1 and his opponent will not have any upgrades. And he is probably going to miss that timing, just going ahead and upgrading stuff a little bit slower. Now, he is pulling a little bit ahead in the harvester count, as you can see, though. He is not spending that money on upgrades. He's spending on a few extra units instead. And here he is going to go for, actually, he is going to go for that timing attack. Is he going to land it at the perfect moment? He has +1 almost finished. He's rallying zerglings on the way as well. jookTo is not going to have any of his upgrades if this attack lands at the perfect moment. And this is a beautiful timing by Monster. He's bringing the banelings along as well. Where are the banes for jookTo? He's got some around. He needs to be careful to use them. Oh, the bane's taking out banes. He needs to not lose all those zerglings on a baneling, though. And, oh, he's just exploded that baneling manly. But Monster, just with a slower reinforcement, and the baneling's not doing as much damage, losing this battle. Whoa, no, some roaches coming from the top, actually. If he does target fire better, he might still yet win. And jookTo is barely, he's had to pull drones to hold this off. But I think he is barely going to hold it off. These roaches are very value damage. And 5 more roaches coming out for jookTo are going to clean this up. But no, a lot more zerglings coming in for Monster. He might be able to finish the deal right this moment, but he needs to do it now or never. He's going to be at such a disadvantage if he doesn't pull it off. And Monster is forced to retreat. And remember all those upgrades I was talking about? They finished right in the middle of that battle. Monster was still able to really make use of that timing where he had +1 and jookTo had no upgrades, but now the table has turned, and jookTo has 1/1 speed roaches, whereas Monster has just +1. Monster's gotten an extra Evo chamber up, though. Oh, going in with some zerglings, trying to snipe some stuff, or at least scout out and see what's going on. He does see the double Evo chamber. Monster's gotten his second Evo chamber as well, so he's trying to catch up there. And they're going to be about even, basically, when all those upgrades finish. Nope, jookTo getting his second upgrades as well. Coming in with some roaches trying to harass. He knows that he has speed and Monster does not. So he can really put on this pressure. And if Monster can just, you know, if Monster tries to counterattack his roaches, he can actually pull back because he's just got faster roaches, basically. And he looks like he's going to engage anyway. A battle between 18 roaches for Monster and 22 for jookTo. jookTos are much more highly upgraded as well, but jookTo is going to fall back regardless because not all those roaches are actually with that army. He's having to rally them in, those roaches walking over this spout of flame, but it doesn't even matter to them. They are too tough to worry about fire and lava hurting their hard carapace. It's going to be level 2 carapace in just a minute as well. Here he is, he's setting up for an attack. He's picked off that macro hatch, stopped Monster from getting that macro hatch going. And Muta's from nowhere coming out to turn the tide of the battle towards Monster. Is it enough though? jookTo still has a higher supply. He's got more roaches here. Will it be enough? jookTo is forced to turn, but he kind of has to fight, because if he tries to run, the Mutas will just chase him down and kill his roaches, and so he's fighting regardless, trying to pick off as many roaches as possible while he gets a Hydralisk Den up in his main base. And looks like jookTo is still doing a ton of damage actually with those superior upgrades, doing lots and lots of damage, but the Mutas are just adding too much damage on top that they are just completely immune to these roaches, obviously. And the Mutas are going to win the day. Mutas out of flipping nowhere. Mutas are actually a close relative of the alpaca, by the way. These Mutalisks are going to pose a very grave danger to jookTo for a short time, but actually that time is almost over already. Spore Crawler is already completing here in the natural. There's one in the main as well, I believe. Yes, there is. And the Hydralisk Den is finished. He's actually producing 10 Hydralisks right now. So these Mutas are going to clean up some Overlords, almost supply block jookTo, and then they're going to be pretty much, well, I won't say dealt with, because they still are mobile. And he actually is running in, taking some major damage from the Hydras and Spores for no reason. He should have just run away there, but wanted to try and get some damage done. And a lot of those Mutas, a couple of Mutas did go down. He's going to try and harass here. The Spore Crawler not in the best position, so he is going to be able to take a couple pot shots at drones, but it's going to be forced away by those Hydras. On the creep, they are able to catch up to those Mutas very quickly, and so the Muta's not really posing much of a threat right now that he has those Hydras out. Now here's the thing though, Hydras is a little bit slow, so he's trying to move out onto the map right now so his Hydras can protect the roaches from the Mutas, but the other thing is oh, he's going to try and come in here and pick off some roaches. Nope, not going to work. The Mutas can also just counterattack as well and try and pick off drones or what have you if he wants. Nice army from Monster. He's got a lot of supply here, but he's a little bit vulnerable at this brand new third base. Banelings are extremely good against Hydras. He needs to soak up those Bane hits with the roaches, but jookTo isn't microing at all, and the Banelings do not hit too many Hydras, but they do hit a lot of roaches, and the superior roaches of Monster look like they are going to win the day. The Muta's doing some decent damage from above as well, and we might even see a GG right here. No, we're not going to see that GG just yet. jookTo still feels that he is in this battle and wants to go ahead and fight it out. Monster still stuck at just the Spire Tech. Look at this. Nice. Going in with the Overseer to scout, and at the same time he's going to goop up. He's going to contaminate that Evo Chamber for a while. That's actually going to slow down his upgrades. That's actually a really cute little move there. It's going to get him ahead a little bit because we already have 2-2 for the Hydras and Roaches of jookTo. So jookTo still winning a little bit in the upgrade battle. Just for the moment, another Roach battle going here. Oh, Burrow is completed. So he actually is able to burrow all of his units. Oh, he could camp. Oh, he could actually explode on top of those. Well, actually, it wouldn't do any good to explode on top of the burrowed Roaches. Oh, there he unburrows, though, and takes huge hits from those Banelings. And it looks like jookTo may lose the game right here. That single Mutalisk is having a field day, but it looks like it might actually get taken out by the Hydralisk. Oh, didn't take that last shot, but he's getting pushed back into his natural expansion. He has no defenses here. He doesn't really have anything. The Hydra has gone down, so this Mutalisk, well, actually, the Queen can still kill it off. Baneling, nice Baneling landing on those Roaches, softening them up, so the superior Roach count of Monster can just swoop down and easily kill jookTo. And GG! Another 2-0 victory. This time, another OGS player falling. OGS jookTo going down 2-0 to MVP Monster. Very quick victory there by Monster, and very nicely played there. We saw Monster go for the Mutalisks, and it was kind of interesting where jookTo, he did go for the Hydras, and the Hydras were enough to counter those Mutas, enough to stop him from doing any damage, but Monster knew he had map control, so he took that third, and it all came down to that battle at the third base to see if he could take out that third, and it didn't quite work out. I like Monster's attack. It didn't really work out as well as it could have, but Monster attacking exactly with that +1 attack. It was perfectly timed. If it hadn't been perfectly timed, it would have been a lot worse for him, actually, because the upgrades of jookTo would have come into play. And so he had that perfect timed attack. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work, but I think part of what that success of that attack was is that jookTo had to pull a lot of drones and lost a lot of drones as a result in part of that battle. So that set him behind, and that was enabled. That's what enabled Monster to have an economic advantage for the rest of the match. So, hope you guys enjoyed that match. Do not go anywhere. We're going to have Zenio versus Mujuk. We're going to have a ZVT coming up in a little bit here. We're going to have to take another quick break because we have 2 matches going on at once. It takes a little bit of time for the players to get set up in their booths. You know, they need to set up their equipment, get their keyboard all in place, get their mouse bungee on, and make sure the settings are perfect on the computer that they're using so that they can execute things as properly as they would like to. So we're going to take another quick break, I guess, and we'll be back in about 5-10 more minutes with Mujuk versus Zenio. And again, remember, if you're just watching this stream, there is the other stream going on as well, Wolf and Doa, dual casting the other set of games, so be sure to tune into them on the other stream. You can go to your preferences on GOM Player, and you can check the box in the general preferences that says something like allow multiple instances of GOM Player, or allow multiple GOM players, or something along those lines. It says different things in different players. And you can make it so you can watch both streams at once if you would like. Just open them up side by side, and that should be good. Alright, so again, we're going to be back in about 5-10 minutes once these guys finish setting up their computers for Zenio versus Mujuk, Zerg versus Terran. See you in a few.